So we're walking in from F lot here, and so as I mentioned that we're going to do a vlog on the Sky High, the Von Roll aerial tram ride that was here in the park. So I figured we'd have to start out here. Now this is not confirmed. This is just a story that we've been told, is that this cable is actually from Sky High. Again, not confirmed, just what we've actually been told. It's kind of an interesting story. Steelhawk's up there testing.
So they tend to reuse things back then. So you can tell they use your railroad track.
Railroad track,
railroad
yes.
Track, they had to use those.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense.
It does make sense, absolutely. Yes, that is the world's a fun way. Recycle, reuse, rename. So,
Or be cheap.
Exactly.
Not in a bad way.
No, we're not saying it in a bad way. It's actually a very good
people
thing.
Will take that way.
All right, so we're heading into the park. Now that can't possibly be some nice landscaping. No. Very nice landscaping. So we just entered the park. So you see some cannas over here. And I found this interesting, that an old photo that I found of the Americana Gate had a flower and hanging bush holder just almost identical to that. So that was interesting. So continuing our look at the Sky High. So the Sky High was, as I mentioned, the Von Roll aerial tram ride. It's the Sky High in Americana. It was the ski highs here in Scandinavia. And so right up here, right as you walk in the park, right here, this is the original ski high station. And it became Tivoli East after the ski high was removed. So we'll look at it from another angle here in just a minute. So a little bit different angle, and here I am. I'm standing in some shade that was desperately missing at Six Flags of Great America a few days ago. But we are looking at actually where the cabins would come in to load and unload on the ski highs. And so this would probably be the ride's entrance area. I will go ahead and post a picture right after this of showing you what this would have looked like when ski highs was in operation. So here we are in Europa by Autobahn, which opened as Der Fender Bender, which is another of the 6 original 1973 rides still operating. You may be asking, what am I doing here? And how does this pertain to Sky High? It actually does quite a bit, because when I worked here in the 90s, in 1994, there was a footer for Sky High right about here. Not there anymore. So this is one of the, I believe, 4 footers for the pylons that would connect to the tops of the towers, and then the cable would be strung across, and then you'd ride one of the cabins from either Americana to Scandinavia or from Scandinavia to Americana. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, that this ride did operate from 1973 to 1987. So it's been gone for almost 40 years. So the footer that we looked down there by Autobahn is gone, but this one, you can't see it probably. This one is still here. This is the closest one to the Sky High station. Right there. Can you see it now? And that lines up directly to Sky High, which you can't see anymore, the barn in the background. So again, this is where one of the pylons would attach. And so I'm going to show you a photo right after this video that will show you kind of where this was when the Sky High ride was here. And again, we're going to go back down here. So it is right there under that planter. All right, so here we are at the old Q House station for the Americana terminus of the Sky High. As I mentioned earlier, Sky High would operate from 1973 until 1987. Jeff, who's my husband, had a friend of his that was manager of Sky High. He was manager of taxis. And he tells a great story, and I've told it enough times, but I think he should tell it this time.
Well, it's about 87, I was manager of taxis. A friend of mine, Kelly Hill, he was the manager of Sky High. We always take manager breaks at the same time. Back then it was like third shift. It was the third break on manager. But we were here, and he kept calling me. He called me and said, he keeps saying a number, like 14. It's like, okay, huh? We're down to 14 cars. He calls back, you're like 10, 8, and he kept counting down until they were down to like 3 cars. And what had happened was the insurance company came and paid him a visit that day. They found surface rust on the cars, which wasn't really a big deal, but the insurance company, being an insurance company, the plane kept making them take cars off. So they had down to a certain amount, and then they had like already had 2 or 3 cars out for a bad head on the car. And the head is the part that grips the track or the cable and runs on the track insulation. So by the time it was done, it was down to only like a couple cars they had available. And that was the last day, last time it operated. And I think it was like in June or early July.
Thanks, Jeff.
Is that fine?
Yeah, that's great.
Well,
good job. So I rode this the very first time, actually the only time I rode it that I know of was 1983. And of course it was gone by the next time I came to the park. And then I worked out here in the 90s. I'm like, well, what happened to it? Nobody knew anything about it. And so I started looking and researching and going different places, and finally ended up in the Missouri Valley Room at the Kansas City Library and found out that that ride had really existed, the Sky High. And that started a journey that I've been continuing for the last 28 years. So it's a great ride. You can still ride it in 8 different places in the United States.
do it while you can.
Do it while you can, exactly. Jeff added some additional commentary that this was the old exit to the Sky High. There's really nothing left on the inside of Sky High that we could see. But then, yeah, you would exit out here and then down the pathway. There is one last thing that I want to show you that's kind of come up. The old fun house, the 9th Street Incline Cyclone Sadie's Saloon. So I'll show you that here in just a second. So earlier today, somebody asked about the original fun house that the park had. It opened in 1973 as the 9th Street Incline, and in 1980 became Cyclone Sadie's Saloon. It had, tilted floors, water going uphill, floating head, that kind of stuff. And they were asking where the exit was, and somebody mentioned it was over by the stairs, and that was really close, really close. It was actually right here. Used to be that you could see the doorway still outlined, but they redid it a couple years ago. You can't see that anymore. You can still see right here the concrete walkway from the exit is still there. So where am I? Let me show you. We are right about here. So we end our tour of rediscovering the Sky High here with our last footer. This is a footer for a pylon. It is there hiding under lift 1 right here. And After this video, I'll put in some photos of some closer views of it that we took when they were redoing the pumps last year. But as I like to always say, the old Worlds of Fun is still hiding in the new, and this is only one ride of many that has many relics left around the park.